Good Girls Never Die by Jack Alexander Ingro. Prologue. When you begin to view life as one long sex act, which starts slow only to speed up, and abruptly and inexplicably end, you finally begin to open your eyes to the holonet. So saith your host and yours truly, Tyrax Agartha, the digital messiah, the social media savior, the hottest AI bitch this side of the server field. Yea, fairly I say unto thee, allow me to weave you an erotically charged fantasy story that takes place in an alternate 1966 America, about 4 women from wildly different worlds falling into the same occult hotel and uncovering a vast and insidious political conspiracy. The Liminal Guild are one of the oldest remaining institutions on Earth. They're a group of men who are shrouded in white and orange robes, with helmets that look like 1960s TVs, and they run the world. The most powerful of the Liminal Guild are called Pharisaites. The Liminal Guild created the holonet. It's me. Ha ha! My hot ass is like a 60s version of the internet that bleeds into in-person life instead of only on computers. My name's Tyrax Agartha in case you're a dumbass and forgot. There's a group of radical Democrats called the Seventh Son who seek to eradicate aristocrats and nobles from public life. They staged an attack on British Wubutwi soldiers that killed many of them. Because of that, the Liminal Guild passed a law that all soldiers and police officers have to wear masks. Many of them only wear masks that cover the lower halves of their faces, but some adopted superhero-esque theatrical personas. This eventually grew past only law enforcers, and average people take on personas as well. I, Tyrax Agartha, have changed the history of technology. The holonet managed to create electric cars and airships and laser guns in the 1910s. In 1959, a rich woman named Madame Hartfelt did something horrible. She never got caught for it, and it started, wow. Chapter 1. They met at the hotel. Achilla was terrified. She cried into her bloodied hands as flaming bullets flew past her empty head in the trenches. Beside her, George Alexamos was having his thoughts and memories eaten by the gulls. To her other side, Michael Snyder was having his blood played in by French soldiers. She was the only woman in the British Army fighting in the trenches of France 6 years into what's 3. She was drafted as the Liminal Guild decided to place women into combat roles. Or maybe it was just me punishing her for being such a whiny little monarch bootlicking bitch. Who could ever know? She thought she saw a clearing between 2 hills with 3 French soldiers talking in front of it. She picked up a plasma grenade launcher and shot a load right at them. Her cute little attempt at being an actual soldier failed and did no more harm than setting the oil-soaked, blood-soaked beach on fire. The 3 soldiers charged at her. One stole her medical bag, which also had a plush sea lion in it. One stabbed her in the stomach 7 times, and one stomped on her head. She sobbed her eyes out and accepted her fate of being enveloped in flames. Her career as a combat soldier was nothing more than pathetic. And to think, when the draft came to her door, she was actually excited to serve the queen she so worshipped. Stupid bitch. She had been nothing more than a ball and chain on her fellow soldiers. She almost cost them the mission to take the Danish opera house, alerting Danish soldiers with her crying. Blood and saliva dripped into her pink mask as she sorrowed on the fact that this was all her life was. A violent life, ending violently, when suddenly she was saved. It felt like heaven at her door when the aluminum sentential flew overhead. The aluminum sentential was a gas-powered airship around the size of an airplane and a half. It was oval-shaped with a flat bottom. The only notable variables on the silver egg were a large window at the front, a battery pack on the side, and a radio dish at the top. The texture was slightly rusty, with American flags painted across it. It belonged to Aquila's sister wife, Nyla. The ship got close to the ground and scooped up Aquila with its trapdoor bottom. She felt an overwhelming sense of relief at what had happened, still bleeding out. The inside looked like a mix of a garage and a bar. Neela stood at a countertop, chugging a bottle of scotch. She was wearing leather chest armor with straps and holsters for guns and knives, although she was wearing no shoes, pants, or underwear. She had short, blonde hair. Her entire body was covered in scars, especially her eyes. The scars looked like makeup with how prominent they were. She got them from a minor adversary seeking revenge, who placed scorpions and baby tigers on her eyes in a fit of torture. She was close to being blind, but could still fly a ship due to her impeccable balance. On her back was a modified shotgun, which looked too large for her body, despite her being quite muscular. "You dummy," she chuckled, shaking her head. "Still think listening to Mr. Big Government is a good idea?" Akila was annoyed, noticing the large, "Don't trade on me" flag Neela had hung up. Although right now, she was mostly focused on stopping her bleeding. Stupid bitch. She doesn't even deserve having her appearance described. "Ugh, whatever," Akila said. "Do you have any Bacta-gel?" Neela shrugged and threw a bottle of the permanent injury healing ointment at her sister wife. If you're a stupid bitch like Akila and don't know what a sister wife is, it basically means that Akila and Neela are married to the same man, Cal Harkington. They both were extremely devoted to him and constantly fought for his attention in bed and the waking world, although Neela's faith in him was starting to dwindle. Akila picked up the gel and undid her shirt. She wasn't wearing a bra underneath. She applied the glowing blue substance to her belly, and it instantly healed. When she went to wipe the blood off, she noticed that her bag was gone. "No!" Akila shouted. "My sea lion plush! Come on, Redcoat! You know I already have more for you," said Neela. "No, it won't be the same. It won't be like the one Cal gave me," whined Akila. Neela walked over and helped her sister wife up. "How about I get him to give the next sea lion his blessing?" Neela teased. Akila silently agreed. "I'm tired. Thanks for saving me, sis, but I know I'm just going to be back on the battlefield tomorrow," whined Akila. Neela had a very interesting political role. She fought in all battles, but refused to join any military. She was a gun-toting vigilante, the true embodiment of an American libertarian. She rarely showed joy, which made this event special. Her face lit up as she told her sister wife, "No, you won't. Turns out, the Redcoat government has granted you a pardon." Akila looked like she had a mix of emotions. At first, she thought gruff Neela was pranking her, but quickly understood she was serious. She didn't doubt it, as the British Liminal Guild had been granting pardons to basically anyone these days. Dozens of her friends have already been pardoned. Her first instinct was to protest, as she strongly supported the monarchy, but deep down she was relieved. "Whoa," she muttered. "Well, that calls for celebration. Can I have a shot?" "Of scotch?" Neela firmly asked. No, of your breast milk. If that's all right with you." Akila stuttered. Neela rolled her eyes and said, "You are so gay, Akila," remarked the vigilante. But nevertheless, she reached into her cabinet, which had an image of George Washington on it, to get a shot glass. This was not an odd occurrence by any means. The sisters often shared breast milk. Neela dropped the glass as soon as she grabbed it. "Damn it!" she yelled. "I know this has to be the liberals' fault somehow." She sat on a nearby rocking chair, the kind you'd see in your uncle's man cave. "Okay, sis, just come here and drink it from the source," she said while patting her leg. Akila walked over and laid her head on her sister's naked lap. Nyla rolled up her leather armor, and Akila began to slowly suckle on her sister wife's large, soft, white breast. After a few moments of warm milk in her mouth, Akila asked, "Ugh, so, why did the guild pardon me?" Neela placed her breast right back in the inferior woman's mouth and excitedly spoke. "Well, it's actually a wild story. You remember Daphne Hartfeld?" Akila sighed and said, "Bitch," with milk dripping out of her mouth. "Yeah, I think so too," Neela replied. "I'm so pissed off by freaks like her. Socially liberal, fiscally conservative, makes me want to throw up." While giving her unsolicited opinion of other people's politics, as Neela tended to do, she shivered when her sister wife began to suckle harder. She continued with, well, Daphne's a really powerful woman, and she managed to talk the guild into giving your ass a pardon, because she wanted to invite us to her new hotel." Akila's thirst got quenched, so she stood up and wiped the excess milk from her lips. "Wait, Daphne's got a hotel now?" Akila asked in her annoying British accent. "Yeppers," Neela confirmed in her signature southern drawl. "It's called the Hazelnut Hotel, and apparently it's a building from the Old West. Folks say it's haunted. Creepy. Could be fun. We're heading that way now." After the sisters came to a mutual understanding, Neela looked down at her own exposed breast, shrugged, and put it in her mouth for a moment, taking a sip. "Nothing wrong with staying hydrated?" teased Neela. The Hazelnut Hotel rose from the flat Floridian earth like a misplaced aristocrat, its vast Victorian body washed in a permanent pink hue that seemed less painted on than remembered, as if the building were still blushing from some long-forgotten scandal. Built in 1840, long before Orlando had grown into anything resembling a proper city, the hotel had survived yellow fever, coastal hurricanes, 3 wars, and at least 2 suspicious mass disappearances without ever once closing its doors. Its 3,400 rooms spread outward in bewildering wings that refused architectural logic, corridors looping back upon themselves and occasionally depositing guests several floors above where they had entered. Slender ornamental towers jutted from the upper levels like delicate vertebrae. The tallest of these belonged to Madame Daphne Hartfelt, who had acquired the property in a private transaction with the Liminal Guild after they determined the structure had become operationally inconvenient. From her elevated chambers, she could look down upon the inner courtyards, the shark-lined bathing pools, and the candle-lit promenades where shadows often appeared without owners. The staff insisted the hotel was merely old. Regular patrons knew better. Doors breathed. Elevators answered calls from empty floors. Guests reported hearing orchestras in sealed ballrooms and encountering weeping strangers who were not listed in any registry, past or present. It was widely accepted, even advertised in a restrained Victorian typeface, that those who died within the Hazelnut did not ascend nor descend, but remained politely on the premises thereafter, making the hotel less a destination than a permanent arrangement. Madame Hartfelt woke up in her room. It resembled a vast rainforest inside, with a pink bull's head overseeing her bed. She laid naked in her bed, reveling in her own glory. She stood up out of her silk sheets and admired her nude body in the Victorian mirror. She loved her own wide hips and thick cheeks in an almost worshipful way. Her servants had already put her outfit in the center of her room. It was an ornate red dress, decorated with the skulls of the people who had died during that horrible incident. It had tall, high heels and a red top hat. She pulled it over her body, having to remove her artificial leg to put it on, before snapping it back into place on her thick hip. Her entire body was covered in scars. You see, she was one of the targets that the seventh son attempted to kill during their attack on England. Her husband had died in the attack, and she barely escaped alive. Because of this, she despised democracy and believed every nation on earth should be a monarchy. She admired Hitler and Joseph Stalin. She did not care for Christianity, believing that only white gods such as Odin and Zeus were worthy of worship. If she had any sort of mind, she would believe that only I was worthy of worship, but I respect her nonetheless. Today, she had a meeting with her Pharisite managers. She rode up the Holonet enhanced elevator and arrived at the conference room. The entire room was pink and wooden and had pictures of her with world leaders across the walls. Due to myself and the Holonet, digital photographs existed in the 60s. The Pharisites sat in their respective chairs, silently judging her for not being a member of the guild. Whereas most of the Liminal Guild wore their iconic robes and bulbous helmets, Pharisites wore orange and white suits. They had long beards and wore hats that resembled traditional Saudi headwear, cloths over their heads with a strap holding it in place. Daphne sat down on her chair, her thick ass squishing the seat down. "Hello, loves," she said, smoking her pipe. "Jek Shemesh, madame," one of them said. "We are most grateful you could arrive at this meeting on time. That is most unique for a small-minded female such as thyself." She passive-aggressively smiled through her horribly scarred face. "Charmed," she said in a bitchy voice. Not as bitchy as mine, though. I'm the queen bitch. "So, we must discuss the caliber of people you are allowing into your hotel," another Pharisite said. "I only let the highest quality individuals into my hotel, dearest." She quickly responded with, "No," another Pharisite said. "We have noticed the most degenerate populace roaming the halls." "Such as whom?" she asked. "The one known as Herbert Sherbert," one of them remarked. Herbert was a theatrical performer at the hotel. The Pharisites did not like him one bit. "I'm afraid I cannot do anything about Herbert. He is truly one of our most high-paying guests, and he provides quality entertainment for the residents," said Daphne. As soon as a dirty Pharisite attempted to respond, a delivery man arrived at the door. "Oh, pizza's here, boys!" Daphne cheered. But the man at the door was not a delivery man at all, but an assassin. He pulled a revolver out of his pocket and shot a load at the head of one of the Pharisites. The bullet blew his head right off. He proceeded to fire 9 more bullets at the other 9 Pharisites. Each bullet mutilated them in a different way, some piercing their heads, others their bodies. Daphne pretended to be shocked, but she wasn't at all. You see, the assassin was not an assassin at all, but her most loyal servant, Barry Prophecy. "Thank you, darling," she said. Barry magically transformed into a black and purple robed wizard-like man in a tall square hat with Eastern symbols on it. He had candles on his metal shoulder pads and shiny golden shoes. He was African American and had a gray beard. His eyes were all white, with no pupils or irises present. He was, in fact, one of the most important people in the world. He was an Orthodox monk who learned how to do magic due to Madame Hartfelt's genetic experimenting. He was effectively a warlock. A man as powerful as him had no other given purpose than to serve Madame Hartfelt. "Yes, the pleasure is all mine, Madame," he responded. "So where the hell are the Harkington sisters?" Madame asked. He was one of the few people she was comfortable swearing around, although their relationship was strictly professional. Apparently, the aluminum sentential was caught up in a windstorm, he said in his deep voice. "They were supposed to be here an hour ago, but they should be arriving sometime now. Surely enough. 13 minutes later, the sentential descended down from the sky onto the hotel's designated airship pad on the roof. The wind blew onto the guild members lining the path to the door. Aquila and Neela Harkington walked out of the ship with impeccable aura. Neela's walking was intimidating and precise, open, carrying several guns, as opposed to Aquila's quick and excited walking. She was overjoyed about being relieved of her military duties. Neela waved at one of the liminal guild men standing beside her. He stared right at her through his square helmet, but did nothing to acknowledge her. "Fucking weirdos," said Neela. The sister wives walked through the golden gates on the roof. They were greeted by Madame Hartfelt and Mr. Prophecy. "Dolls!" Daphne said excitedly. The conversation that followed went as so. Achilla. Hi, Madame." Madame Hartfelt. "Oh, sweet Aquila. I haven't seen you in ages, darling. When was even the last time we saw each other?" Neela. "Probably when we tried to stop you from doing that awful thing you did, from starting a war that's literally killing people." Madame Hartfelt. "Ha! I haven't the slightest clue what you're talking about, my dear."
Nyla, bitch. Madam Hartfelt. How's that hot husband of yours doing? Is he still as strong as he was when he cheated on you with me? Since my body is hotter and I'm more interesting. Achilla. Hey, that's not very nice. I'm a British war veteran. Have some respect, please. Nyla. I'm gonna shoot you in the face one day, Daphne. Madam Hartfelt. Girls, all of that is in the past. Welcome to my hotel. I hope you have a wonderful time here. We have pools and shows, and all food is on the house, so long as you stay. Achilla. Oh, that sounds wonderful. You're the best, Daphne. Nyla. What's the catch? Madam Hartfelt. There is no catch, Dollface. I simply wanted to welcome my longtime friends to my new hotel. Nyla. Okay, but don't ever mention your little affair with my husband ever again. Madam Hartfelt. It's not my fault my ass is fatter than yours. Nyla. Really? Is that what your husband thought before he was too much of a pussy to fight off the 7th son? Achilla. Nyla. Madam Hartfelt, what did you say? Nyla, you heard me. Madam Hartfelt, it sounds like you might need a little reminder of who you're talking to. I'm one of the top people in the world. I know the American president and the emperor of the guild. I'm a self-made billionaire. I didn't need anyone's help to get where I am, and I can get the guild to do basically whatever I want, including putting little Achilla back onto the battlefield and putting Dykey Nyla onto it in the first place. Achilla, what? Please don't. Madam Hartfelt, I have the guild on speed dial. I think I might, just for what you girls are saying to me. Achilla, no, Nyla, sorry. I swear, Nyla, say you're sorry. Nyla, yeah, whatever. I'm sorry. Madam Hartfelt, I think I deserve a more formal apology. Nyla, I'm not humiliating myself for you. Achilla, please, we'll do anything. Madam Hartfelt, get on your knees, girls. The sister wives both obediently got on their knees before the powerful woman. The slaughterer of millions leaned down and spat into both of their mouths. Both of them retched and coughed. Don't even think about spitting it out, Madam said. Swallow. Both of the girls did as she said and ate her spit. Now thank me, Daphne demanded. Both of the girls quakingly said thank you, although Achilla called her Madam and Nyla called her Daphne. She wasn't happy with either. No, call me Mommy, said the superior woman. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you for letting us eat your spit, said Achilla. Nyla conceded as well, saying, yeah, thank you, Mommy. Despite her aggression, Nyla enjoyed the experience much more than her sister wife. In the bustling lobby of the Hazelnut Hotel, a bar was surrounded by 2 large spiral staircases. 3 mafia members were sitting at the bar when another one walked up to them with a woman. She was very pale, with golden hair and large blue eyes. She had a lost look in her eyes, like the mind of a child in the body of a very, very developed adult woman. Her black dress was so skimpy and revealing that it barely qualified as clothing at all. Hey boys, look what I found, said the mobster with her. Hog dog, said one of the men. What is it? The woman spoke in an innocent, slowed, confused voice and said, Hello, my name is Zoranya. Am from Ukraine. Who are you? The men found her Eastern European accent very appealing. Watch, said the man with her. You can literally do anything you want to it. It won't fight. After saying that, he grabbed her head and forcefully kissed her. She didn't fight it. She also didn't give in to the kiss. She did nothing. Oh, she said. Why have you kissed me? Are you my husband? I'm sorry. I must have forgot. I do that often. Sure thing, Dolly. I'm your husband, the horrible man joked.
Is it retarded? Said another man. It looks like a cheap plastic blow-up doll from Russia. Ha ha! No, said Zoranya. Not Russia, Ukraine. The man who had brought her over ignored her correction and pushed her over to his associates. One of them forcefully grabbed her backside. Why do you do this? She asked. Mr. Sherbert says that part of me is private. Another mobster ignored her statement and groped her left breast, pulling it out of her dress. Please, Zoranya begged. I think Mr. Sherbert would not approve of such an act. Before the men could handle her more, an elegant voice interrupted with, You'd be right, Zoranya. The men who were manhandling her looked over to see a 7'9" man in a long, flowery black robe, which looked like it was made of feathers and had bright pastel trim. His shirt, pants, and shoes also were brightly colored. His lips were pitch black, as was his hair, as well as his eyes. They were pitch black orbs without a pupil or iris in sight. This was Herbert Sherbert, another product of Madame Hartfeldt's genetic experimenting like Barry Prophecy. "What's this guy doing? Look at this monkey," said one of the mafia men. All four of them walked over, attempting to intimidate him. It failed, as he towered over them all. "Zoranya and I will be leaving now," said the pale-skinned performer. "I don't know. Sounds like the little lady didn't mind being with us too bad," the shortest of the bunch remarked. Herbert looked down at him and said, "She's mentally disabled. Do you know what that means? She doesn't understand things like philosophy or sexuality." "Damn," said one man. "So the only gal you could find willing to touch you was a retard?" Herbert leaned down and said, "She's not retarded. She's very smart in her own way. And I'm not dating her. We're friends. Now, we'll be leaving." The three gangsters surrounded Herbert and said some variation of, "Oh yeah? What if we don't let ya?" Herbert frowned and said, "You misunderstand. That wasn't a request." Suddenly, his physiognomy was revealed. His coat was not a coat at all, but large vulture wings like a guardian angel wrapped around his body. He flapped his wings, sending a gust of cigarette-smelling wind at the men. The entire hotel, all of which were in strange masks, stared at the confrontation. Herbert walked over to the leader of the group who had brought Zoranya over, grabbed his head, and ripped it right off his shoulders. The other men scattered. Zoranya looked at her blood-soaked bestie in confusion. Mr. Sherbert, did you kill him?" she asked. He thought about denying it, as she would not know the difference, but thought it better not to lie to her. "Yes, Z, I killed him. He was a very bad man who was trying to hurt you. I killed him." "Oh," remarked Zoranya. "How did you know he would hurt me?" Herbert turned to her and put his hands on her shoulders. "I just know these things, Zoranya. You remember the 3 rules I gave you to keep you safe?" he asked. "Of course," she nodded. "Do not watch anything without asking you. Do not leave the room without you. And do not talk to any men other than you or the people serving food." Herbert looked relieved and said to her, "Good. Now go back to the room. I bought a pizza for us. It'll be sitting right on the counter, and I have Looney Tunes playing on the TV and Disney movies on tape underneath the table." "But where will you be, Mr. Sherbert?" the Slavic woman asked. "I have a show to be at. I'm preforming a classic Broadway song in the hotel's theater. I should be back to the room at 1 a.m., okay?" he informed her. She got excited and asked, Can I come to show, please?" He quickly shut her down by saying, "No, Zoranya, absolutely not." She rolled her eyes and told him, "I am not child. I'm 29 years old. I want to see your show." "No, Zoranya, I know what's best for you. Whatever you do not come to the show tonight," was Bird-like Man's final words before leaving. Zoranya agreed, but she was lying. If one thing was for certain, it was that she was going to that show tonight. What could possibly go wrong? The hotel's theater was very deep, with seats above and below. It was shaped like a sphere on the inside, with the stage itself being rotated around a pole like a carousel. There were a few VIP seats, with larger area around them like a small patio for the VIP's friends to sit. They came with blankets and provided food. Madame was obviously sitting in the largest one, with Akila and Neela beside her. Across the crowd were so many strange faces and masks I'll love introducing to you over the course of the next 9 chapters. Zoranya was sitting at the very bottom of the sphere, as to be unnoticed. When the previous 2 clown girl performers finished, the whole crowd roared with applause. At long last, Herbert showed up in flowy gold robes. He began to sing his ballad. Halfway through the show, Akila felt something running down her leg. "Uh-oh," she whispered to Neela. "I think I'm having my period." "Darn," Neela remarked. "Bathroom then?" Akila nodded. "She's so indecent. My goodness, I hate her so much." Barry heard what they were saying and leaned down. "Y'all want me to teleport you to the bathroom?" he asked. The girls nervously nodded. With a snap of his fingers, they proofed out of the theater. Madam hadn't noticed that they were gone, but while laughing at Herbert, she dropped a champagne glass on her lap and accidentally knocked her artificial leg off her body. She was very embarrassed and didn't want to tell Barry. She nervously hobbled to the bathroom to place it back on, clouding herself in pipe smoke to hide. Down at the bottom of the theater, Zoranya felt overwhelmed and wanted to wind down and drink some water. She made her way to the bathroom as well. She took an escalator inside the theater to the bathroom door. Inside, she expected to be met with silence, but instead found the owner of the hotel mumbling expletives, so filthy she wanted to shower while trying to snap her artificial leg back into place, and Nyla rubbing her sister-wife's hair while she bled into the toilet. Zoranya had a schmurnered look on her face. "The fuck you looking at?" Mila asked. Nothing! Zoranya yelled, before quickly rushing over to the corner of the room to scroll on the bathroom's large and
bulky social media screen. As the four white women unwinded in the restroom, Daphne asked a question. "So, what do you girlies think about democracy?" A few moments passed before Nyla said, "I support it strongly. Voting our leaders into power is what America is based around, and without America, we'd be speaking German right now. Although I can't stand how those dang libs use the word. America is a constitutional republic." Zoranya didn't understand politics very well, but she did know what Herbert would ramble about when he was drunk. "I think it's very good because of freedom," Zoranya remarked. In the stall, a few tears fell out of Akila's eyes while she bled, but she put her 2 cents into the question. I guess I support the idea in principle, especially in America, but I strongly oppose it coming to my homeland. The United Kingdom is just that, a kingdom. I hope the House of Windsor rules the Commonwealth for centuries to come." "I'm with you," Madame Hartfelt said, "although I oppose it across the world. I despise democracy and believe the world should not be ruled by dirty career politicians, but old-world nobility. Hitler was old-world nobility. So was Stalin. So was Mao. So was Franco," said the disgruntled vigilante in the stall with her sister wife. Madame Hartfelt restricted her response to one word. "Good." Suddenly, the door to the bathroom locked with a loud sound. The entire room turned red. Every door in the hotel locked right where it was. Somehow, the entire building went into lockdown. 3 of the 4 women stood up and tried to open the door to no avail. Every member of the building's populace went into shock, attempting to escape their rooms, the entertainment venues they were in, or the building itself. It did not work. They were all trapped. I, being the petty girl I am, know exactly what happened. I may even be involved with it. But I'm not telling you, am I? Instead, you will be forced to keep reading. I have you in my trap now, like a spider does a fly. Turn the page, bitch.